let's take a look here at everything going on. All right, take a look here at the chat. All right, we've got Geeks Gamers Entertainment saying maybe he is Mike Zeroh, of course, referring to Doomcock. Because I had titled this video, Doomcock is the new Mike Zeroh. And there's a reason why. I'm just trying to find the post that sparked it. The post that made me laugh my ass off. And, of course, it comes in from a very dubious source in and of itself. So let's just, why don't we just start off with that? All right. This is coming in from Cosmic Book News, Matt McGloin. So you know this is like the paragon of virtue when it comes to journalistic integrity. Of course, you know, looking at something like this particular website usually is met with laughter, mockery, and of course, serious cases of cancer. God forbid you ever take it any bit seriously. But we have here this article titled Disney Resetting Star Wars Racing The Last Jedi. Now, you know the kind of group of people that this is aimed for, right? You know that group of people. The kind that have nothing else to live for than being angry at things, being mad at The Last Jedi, being mad at The Last of Us Part 2, being mad at Terminator Dark Fate, being mad at everything. One must ask themselves, I mean, psychologically speaking, you must ask yourself, why are you that mad? Perhaps you're not able to get fiery in other parts of your life. You know, maybe you're not able to muster the flames, to ignite the spear of invigorating things. You know, maybe you're not able to get a boner. So you get mad at this stuff. Maybe. All right. The Nura here says, unmask Doomcock. That'd be pretty funny. All right. What's worse, comic book movie or cosmic book news? Comic book movie at least attempts. Cosmic book looks for the angle across the board. Let's look at this here. So, a new rumor has hit the net. Oh, because that's all we have nowadays is rumors. That's it. If you think about it, that's all we have. So it's rife with people who like to just make crap up. Let's see. A new rumor has hit the net offering some sort of Disney Star Wars reset is in the works for The Force Awakens, Last Jedi, and Skywalker to have them basically be erased. Make the sequel trilogy not happen. Because, you know, it's fucking, what, like $4.5 billion theatrically between the three films. Yeah, let's just erase those out of existence. Now, you have to love this here. This should give you everything you need to know about this particular piece. Is the rumor comes from the future ruler of Earth, Doomcock Overlord DVD YouTube channel, who recently offered that Star Wars Civil War is happening at Lucasfilm between Kennedy and Jon Favreau. Again, unfounded, unclaimed, unprecedented rumors, you know, saying that Kathy is banned from the set of The Mandalorian. Yeah, because, you know, the president of the company is banned from the set of the thing. That makes a lot of sense. Now, Doomcock also provided those Skywalker spoilers, except he didn't. Those were Reddit leaks. Those were not Doomcock leaks. Those were Reddit leaks. This is what I'm talking about here, right? This is what I'm talking about. The proliferation of bullshit, the proliferation of nonsense, the proliferation of these people are credible. They're not credible. Under any circumstances, are they not credible individuals at all, period, point blank, full stop, do not pass go, do not collect $200. These are right-wing, racist, bigoted reactionaries who do everything they can to cause division in fandom because that's how they get paid. That is really what it is. And people like Matt McGloin and Cosmic Book News that back it up and prop it up and give it some kind of, I don't know, truthiness, you know, as some kind of validation, they're part of the problem too, because they benefit off of the same cycle of absolute nonsense. And I'm not the only one that thinks this, and a lot of other people call this out, but not as many people as they should call it out. Now, this is what it says here. Doomcock says that there are plans in place to save the Star Wars franchise, which involve Abrams and Rian Johnson trilogy getting nullified. Yeah, no. It's claimed that Disney's Star Wars trilogy will be erased using a concept that was recently made canon in the Rebels animated series. In the Season 4, Episode 13 installment titled The World Between Worlds, the concept of the Veil of the Force was introduced, a mythical dimension of the Force that connects all time and space. He says, now this is what Doomcock says, I have received confirmation from 2 additional sources, probably his left hand and his right hand, whichever one is full of shit first. Claiming that this is spot on, that indeed Lucasfilm realizes they have a massive problem on their hands and that the Star Wars franchise is all but dead. Despite Kathleen Kennedy's hatred of this idea, Lucasfilm is preparing to render the sequel trilogy null and void. I just want to make this abundantly clear about the terminology used here. When he says Lucasfilm realizes, listen, you masked hypocrite, Kennedy is Lucasfilm. She's the president. She's in charge. There's no one else in the company higher than her. She answers to the Bobs who run Disney. She doesn't answer to Alan Horn at Walt Disney Studios. Lucasfilm is a vertical within the corporate subculture. Like, you don't know what you are talking about, period. At all. Ever. Come on. Come the hell on. Really? Despite Kathleen Kennedy's hatred of this idea, Lucasfilm, Jesus Christ. Now, it says here, it's said that the events from The Force Awakens, The Last Jedi, and Skywalker will be removed from canon, isolated in their own alternate timeline, and regarded as an Elseworlds-like installment under the label of Star Wars Legends. That is absolutely false, because they've been doing nothing but building up the new extended canon for the past number of years. They are getting ready to introduce the High Republic, which takes place 200 years before the events of a prequel trilogy, in order to establish a new canon leading into the start of the prequel trilogy, in order to get China on board. If you pay attention to anything happening with the books and what's going on with China and all that stuff, you know exactly what's going on. It's very easy to see. This makes no sense. We're just going to nullify this. We're just going to go and bring it. No, you're not doing that. You're not going to hit the reset button like your DC films every couple of years. Now, they go on to say, so what Doomcock is explaining is that a Star Wars multiverse will be created, which will isolate the Disney Star Wars trilogy as being part of a separate universe that is not part of the George Lucas original Star Wars films. That is absolutely pointless. That is absolutely untrue. And anyone who has any fundamental understanding of Star Wars would look at this and go, yeah, that's a load of shit. But that doesn't stop Doomcock, who claims it's a rumor. I just want to make this abundantly clear, because there's people that are going to criticize me, but he says it's a rumor, man. He always says it's a rumor. No, he may say it. He doesn't believe it. He doesn't want you to believe it. He wants you to believe that it's real, so then you think that he actually knows what he's doing. He doesn't. Period. At all. He just makes it up at this point. Like, he's literally becoming Mike Zeroh. Because this is the same crap Mike Zeroh says. This is the same level of dishonest, disingenuous, ridiculous nonsense that emanates from the pie hole of Mike Zeroh on a 6 times a day basis. And people eat this stuff up as if it is real. It is the weekly world news / National Enquirer of movie coverage. It is not real at all. But so many people believe it. Now, he continues here by noting the details can't be verified, right? Oh, I have 2 sources that can confirm, but I can't verify this, right? Okay. Consider, you see this, right? The weasel wording here. Oh, I have 2 sources that confirmed independently to me that this is what's happening, but I can't verify it. It doesn't, like, again, you either are going to rest on the laurels of the sources making you credible, which is how that whole thing would play out, or you don't. Now, it says here that it's further noted that the plans are not set in place, as, again, Kennedy is said to hate the idea and is said to be doing everything she can to crush it. As if the plan comes to pass, everything Kathleen Kennedy did with the sequel trilogy will be destroyed, tossed out, and declared obsolete. And Doomcock feels that this is going to happen. A massive universe reset is going to hit Star Wars, he would say. Jesus, I don't know. Come on. For one, we know Kennedy is the president of the company. She calls the shots. Iger or Chapman might come in occasionally and make a play on something. But when we're talking about what's going on for the future, she still very much is in control, good or bad. She is still in control. And we find out here in the next year whether or not she's going to be sticking around. But for right now, given the fact that Star Wars' future is going to be pretty well lit on Disney Plus, and she's a key indicator, a key reason for that happening, a key reason that The Mandalorian exists is because Kennedy greenlit it, but yet now is somehow magically barred from being on set. Makes no sense whatsoever. It's all right. Apparently they go on to talk about like other things here. This is what he says. This is too funny. It's like, this is Mike Zeroh levels of stuff here. The Emperor Palpatine has a room on the second floor of the second Death Star called the Room of Mirrors. The mirrors were created by the Emperor prior to the Death Star through the dark side using ancient Sith rituals. These mirrors link the veil of the Force that serve many purposes. Using them, Palpatine could manipulate the Force in many ways to further his aims. For example, the use of mirrors allowed Palpatine to cloud the Jedi Council to conceal himself and his Dark Apprentice from the Jedi and Force sensitives that followed their fall. Using the mirrors, Palpatine allowed access to the awesome powers of the Veil of the Force that were indispensable tools that allowed him to rise to the pinnacle of ultimate power. This is the conceit that explains how Palpatine survived Vader throwing him down the shaft. In desperation, as he fell, Palpatine opened the portal to the Veil of the Force and entered it, and explains by why he's such in a damaged state in The Rise of Skywalker, as transporting himself into the Veil without the aid of the mirrors drained him and damaged him severely. But if you look at everything The Rise of Skywalker essentially showed us, it was that he was a clone. He was looking for a new, he wanted to have the host body of Rey being his blood relative, but he was still a clone. He created all the clones of Snoke. He would have created all the clones of himself. I mean, they basically pulled from Dark Empire. They were very heavily riffing on that. It just continues. Like it just keeps going. My God, it's terrible stuff here. This is, Garrick here says the fandom menace is becoming the InfoWars of Star Wars speculation. That's a good point, man. That's a very good point. Jesus Christ. You have to just look, you cannot look at this, I think, through any analytical lens and not just go, my God, this is terrible. My God, this is god awful.